So coming back, I kind of expected to feel like I was in a tourist trap, but I don't. Hey guys, what's up? It's Kelly again. Welcome back to my channel. Right now, I am standing in front of the Bavarian Lodge, which is located in Leavenworth, Washington. Yes, I'm still in the US, and yet I'm standing outside of a hotel that looks like it belongs in Bavaria, Germany. Why is that? Well, the story behind Leavenworth is really fascinating, you guys, and it's mostly inspired by the mountains right behind me, the Cascade Mountain Range. And I'm gonna tell you all about the history of this city while I show you around. As with most U.S. cities in the West, settlers were brought to the Leavenworth area on the hunt for gold and timber in the late 1800s. And while there was not a lot of gold to be found here, the timber industry quickly exploded, bringing a rail line through the area and more settlers to cash in on the harvest. But soon after, the logging died down. The railroad company rerouted its rails, and a good chunk of the population of the city left with it. Leavenworth went from being a hot commodity to a near ghost town, without really any hope for recovery. That was until 1962, when friends Ted Price and Bob Rogers started up Project Life, or Leavenworth Improvement for Everyone. In a desperate attempt to bring tourists to the area and thus more revenue, they decided to mimic the city of Solvang in California, which is designed to look like a Danish town. But instead of Denmark, the pair decided on Germany. They felt that the Cascade Mountains looked enough like the Alps to provide a realistic backdrop for a Bavarian-themed town, and they committed to it. Every building is required by the city to fit within the Bavarian theme, to make the city feel as authentic as possible. Even the gas station and chain stores like Napa Auto Parts and Starbucks and McDonald's dress the part. Every detail of the city, from the parking meters to the city signs, are in keeping with the theme, and I'm sure if they legally could, they would also make all the US road signs into real German road signs too. So as you can see behind me, the whole town is structured to look like a Bavarian village. And guys, I was here back in 2009, which doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess it's a good decade. And it is insane to me how much this place has improved from, at least from what I remember it. I really honestly feel like they did a really great job putting this village together. It feels as authentic as I think you could get without actually being in Germany. Hi everyone, I'm here with Jim. I had the chance to talk to Jim and Larry, two residents of Leavenworth who spend their Saturdays dressed up in traditional German lederhosen, volunteering to take free photos with tourists in front of their snazzy beer wagon. Jim has been living in the community for 3 short years, but he lived in Germany both as a child and also for many years as an adult.
I lived as a child down in by southern Germany between Munich and Salzburg.
Okay.
And then on a station over there a couple of times.
Great. Well, that's a beautiful area.
Yep,
so this is right at home. This is what it's modeled after, right? And you said your daughter was born in Wiesbaden.
Wiesbaden, where my wife worked as a nurse.
Okay, so you lived over there too, or? Oh wow. How do you feel about like how similar this is to Bavaria? Are you proud of what you guys got here?
Yes, they've done very nice here. They have a very strict building code here.
And his wife gets in on the action too by playing the Alp horn.
She plays the Alp horn.
All right, let's go.
Oh wow.
She's an ensemble here, yes.
Great. So they perform and she's part of that?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. Did she learn that over in Germany or did she learn that here?
She played the French horn, so it's very nice.
Oh wow. I've only seen one person playing that. I think it was in Switzerland, and it's an awesome instrument.
It is.
It's impressive that she knows how to play it. That's very cool.
She practices a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure people love it. I mean,
They do.
Truly, like, you can't get this experience unless you buy like a really expensive flight to get over to Germany. So I think that's probably the coolest thing about this. And I hope that when people come here, they really feel like this is what Bavaria looks like.
Yeah,
it does.
As close as you're going to get without having to go do a 12-hour flight.
Exactly. I am standing with Larry, who also lives in Leavenworth. Larry, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and welcome to our village.
Thank you.
Yes.
Larry's been living living in Leavenworth for much longer, just over 20 years to be exact, and he has seen Leavenworth go through a lot of changes, and he's really proud of what it's become.
There's been a lot of change in the last 20 years here, a lot of change, and it's been fun being part of that change too. All for the better too, all for the better, yeah.
Just like Jim, he talked to me about how involved he and his wife are in the Leavenworth community.
Oh, well, I've been involved in Art in the Park Board. We have an educational foundation. I'm the CEO of that.
Oh, wow.
I'm involved in other community activities, different festivals. Christmas lighting is one. My Fest, I've worked in that, volunteered, and I spent 6 years on the city council too. So,
oh, wow.
And so, yeah, a lot of things I've been involved. I've given my time and energy and talent. So my wife has a Christmas ornament business, and we sell to Chris Kringle, which is a store just up there. And then Gons Kloss has different ornaments, and they're all hand painted and porcelain, and here in Leavenworth. So it's a hometown product and very successful.
Good.
She can't keep up. She can't keep up with the orders. I'll tell you that.
It's probably a good problem to have.
Very good problem. But she loves to paint. She's an artist. I
felt like Jim and Larry's outlook and description of Leavenworth echoed the sentiment I felt throughout Germany, where people care more for the community as a whole. The idea of Leavenworth would never work if the entire community didn't buy into it. So you really pick up on this sense of teamwork that Larry alluded to throughout my conversation with him.
It's all part of the fun.
Right.
And Jim and I stand with the wagon, and he speaks German fluently, so so he brings that dimension to it. Just like in Germany, Leavenworth hosts a ton of festivals. I've mentioned before in one of my videos that it just seems like there is always a fest going on in Germany. So it was cool to see that Leavenworth takes that on as well, which of course includes the famed Oktoberfest. I'll tell you, there's so much to see and do here. You just don't understand how dynamic this town is. It used to be, it was a little bit sleepy in January through March, April, and now it's just got a heartbeat and a pounding pulse 12 months out of the year. We go from festival to festival. In fact, we're getting ready for Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is one of my favorite festivals. It's 3 weekends, and lots of people come to town. They wear Trachten, and it's just getting, this is our 21st Oktoberfest.
Oh, that's great.
It's an event that has grown and prospered, and you ought to come back. It sounds like the only thing that Leavenworth is missing are the farmers markets that happen in nearly every city in Germany. I had one last question of Larry before I let him get back to beguiling tourists.
Have you seen any Germans come here? You made me think about it. Yeah?
Oh, we always do. In fact, there were some Germans here earlier this morning.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And
do you get their impressions, what they think of this place?
They'll oftentimes talk about little communities, little villages, and Oberammergau is one that they will oftentimes say because of all the flowers. And you just look up and down the streets, all the flower baskets, and just the abundance. Oh, you look across the street at the motel there, they just have cascading flowers. And so we just look so much like Germany. I perused the town for a place to grab lunch and settled on a beer garden style restaurant selling currywurst, something you just don't regularly see at a restaurant in the US, and I've kind of been missing it from Germany. I was surprised to see how many sauces were available at such a place, and I was impressed with how authentic the currywurst tasted. I'm starting to feel like my channel is just a bunch of videos of me eating in front of you guys. That is not what my channel was intended to be. But I'm gonna do it again. After lunch, I shopped a bit, and I was surprised at the variety of shops available. I sort of just assumed it would be a lot of tacky German-themed souvenirs, and while there was certainly a few of those, there was really an impressive smorgasbord of available commodities. Everything about the town was unique, but I really enjoy the effort that went into the little detailed representations of Bavaria. Whether it's a creative shop sign, or all of the flowers Larry talked about, or the depictions of the Edelweiss and the Bavarian flags, it really made the town so much more special to see them go above and beyond.
And honestly, I can understand why millions of people choose to make this little city, despite being in the middle of nowhere, Washington, a part of their summer vacation. Not only because of this, which is really special, but also because it is surrounded by natural beauty and there are endless things that you can do in the wilderness around here. Especially because it is home to the enchantments, which is exactly as magical as it sounds. Not only did I do the hardest hike of my life out here, but it was also the most mesmerizing place I've ever been. And I got to see so many mountain goats, which is always really exciting to me. I could probably do a whole video just on that. Alright guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and put in the comments what you guys think. Have you ever heard of Leavenworth, Washington before? Have you been here before? Would you ever come here? I'm really curious about what your impressions are of this city, so let me know. And special thanks to all of my patrons. Thank you for the support that you've given me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Have you ever heard of Patreon? It's a way that lets you guys support me so that I can keep making interesting videos beyond me just sitting and talking in front of my camera. There's so much to show you guys, but while it's free for you to watch, unfortunately it isn't so free for me to make. So check it out if you're interested. The link is in the description below.